Hello peoples, it's your boy Oscar Smitty and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I will be reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now, this first part that I have right here, this is going to be the non-spoiler review. And then I'm going to get into the actual, I'll go into another section and we'll do a spoiler review. It's not really, it's a lot, this movie has a lot, it has a lot in it. Excuse me, it's not that much big spoilers that I would say, but you know, we still gotta. I decided we gotta start making these spoiler sections for people that have not seen the movie and people that just want to get a quick review. And if they don't want to see the spoiler section yet, come back later. So yeah, I was also gonna do a game, a video game with this one, but didn't have time for it. So we're just gonna get straight to just doing the review. So this movie, man, me personally, through all of the Ant-Man and Wasp, through the Wakanda Forevers, through all of that, I think this is the best MCU movie we have seen in a long time. In a long time. Now, yes, I'm not gonna say this movie's completely perfect. I'm gonna say that there are some problems and some little nitpicks that I'm gonna point out. But other than some of those little mini nitpicks, I personally think this movie is one of the best. Like one of the best. I gave the title of the best trilogy to Captain America. I might gotta give the title of the best trilogy to the Guardians of the Galaxy because I really, really like this one. I really like this one. One thing I'm gonna say first is, bro. One thing I'm gonna say first is, man, bro. If you love animals, you're gonna cry. That's like the main thing. Like I'll get into exactly why in spoilers, but just know if you love animals and you hate animal cruelty, you are going to cry. You are going to feel a lot for this. Like you're going to feel a lot of like emotion and stuff. Like there's moments in this film where I like it's like James Gunn has this form. I don't know how to explain it. It's not his formula works. Like it's like he makes you laugh, but then you also are crying at the same time. Like he had this moment, those really like very uplifting moments, and those really like funny and giggly moments, but then he'll like hit you with something sad, and then somehow like you're sitting there and you just feel everything. Like you feel every bit of emotion that's going on. And it's like I feel this with each character. It's even moments in the film where let me see, like Mantis and Drax are arguing. Like it starts off jokey, but then it'll get real serious and sad, and you start feeling for what they're going through and the problems. But then it'll get back to real jittery and jokey. Like it'll be like a quick uplifting moment. Like he does it constantly, and it's like and it works. It works. The crowd, the audience, like they love it. They love it. Like the theater, you're gonna be laughing. Like the whole theater was laughing at pretty much every joke, everything. Like the movie is hilarious. I will definitely say that. I think the movie really is very very funny. Like Star Lord, all of them like hilarious. Um, what else? Because I don't really because it's a lot without like not going into spoilers. Um, because most of the spoilers are really just really just like the end credit scene. It's really the end credit scenes and stuff like that. It's not really anything that major because most of the stuff that you see in the film or like that was talked about is pretty much in the trailer, somewhat in the trailer. Like that's pretty much the gist of it. But I'm not going to speak on what certain things happen because got people that still want to see the movie and they just want to know in this first part whether or not the film is good. Just know the film is good. The film is really good. I think it's like really good. My friend watched it. He saw it before me. He saw it on Friday. he says it's one of his best Marvel movies, his favorite Marvel movies. He thinks it's better than the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Honestly, I think this is, if I was to rank the Guardians, I would probably say I think the first one is still the best. Then I'll put the third one, and then I'll put the second one. I think this one really has a lot. This one you feel just so much more emotion. Like you feel it's like a back and forth. It is a good thing. Like you feel happy, you feel sad, you feel compassion for what's going on. Like it's just a real like it's just crazy like how much is in it. And the action scenes, I'm not even gonna get like the action is some of the best action I have seen from Marvel in a while. Like how he films his action, how James Gunn films his action is crazy in this movie. Especially like certain scenes with like Adam Warlock, the action goes crazy. It goes real crazy. So I have some couple of nitpicks and gripes. A couple are with Adam Warlock himself. And then it's a little couple of moments. It's a couple of moments where I'm just like, that could have been better. I mean, it's whatever. Then in other moments, it's like, ooh, I didn't really like that. But overall, I will say one thing. I don't think, obviously, no, this isn't a spoiler. We already know that Star Lord and Gamora aren't together. We already know they're not together. So the dynamic of them trying to find their way back from Star Lord trying to get with Gamora, who's not even like at all the original Gamora that we know or that he knows. It's funny. It works. It's a lot of emotion there. I think that is perfect. Overall, I would definitely recommend this movie, and I would definitely tell you to go out and see it. It's worth every penny. You will be laughing, you will be crying, you will be feeling sad. You're going to feel every emotion a human can possibly feel, you will feel in this movie, and you will enjoy the action. The action is some of the best I've seen in a while for Marvel, because lately I have not liked any of the action in Marvel. I did not really like Wakanda Forever was okay. I mean, it was alright. It wasn't that bad. But Ant-Man and the Wasp, whatever. The best action this action is pretty good. Like I think the latest action that I saw that was like really good was probably like Shang-Chi. That was like that whole dynamic in Shang-Chi and I think I'm missing one more movie, but Shang-Chi the way like the culture looks and the different colors and the dragons coming with the them fighting with the rings, like yeah, that looked good. But is it that good as Shang-Chi? No, but I would say Guardians does make its way up there. Like it's pretty good. Like I definitely recommend you watch this movie for all of that. You will be laughing a lot. You will be laughing a lot. So I definitely would say go out and see this movie. If I was to rate this movie out of 10, out of 10, I'll probably give it a 9. I'll give it. I would. Yeah. No. 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 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. I give it an 8 out of 10. I know I'm talking about it as if this movie is really really good. I only give it an 8. It should be like a 9 or a 10. I don't give movies 10 out of 10s because then that means the movie's perfect. No movie is perfect. I give it an 8. I think it's I give it an 8. 8.5. We'll give it an 8.5. 8.5. I still think the first Guardian is a 9. I think the first Guardians is a 9 out of 10. I think that movie was pretty perfect. That movie, I could not really find a problem with it. It's like little nitpicks in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Excuse me. Volume 2, you had it. I gave that one, I gave that one like an 8 out of 10 as well. So the first one's 9 out of 10, the second one's 8 out of 10. For this one, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. So, because I do enjoy it a little bit more than Volume 2. So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed this non-spoiler, dang, can't speak. Non-spoiler part section, whatever. I'm about to get into the spoilers. If you haven't seen the film, do not go past this. If you're going to eventually go out and see the film, come back, watch the spoiler part. But for right now, I hope you enjoyed this part of the video, and I will catch y'all on the next one. If you did not, if you don't want to get spoiler, I advise to leave now, because I'm about to start spoilers in 3, 2, 1. I'm in the spoiler section, so whatever I say, if you haven't left yet, you need to go. You need to go. Now, when it comes to the spoilers, now, Adam Warlock, listen, how can I put this? I didn't like Adam Warlock that much. I thought this is one of the Adam Warlock. I didn't really like Adam Warlock that much. Me personally, and my friend as well, we thought Adam Warlock was going to be, I don't know. When I thought of Adam Warlock, and I'm not a big fan of his design that much, but whatever. In this movie, he's an idiot. He's basically Drax. He's a dumbass. Like he's an idiot. And his mother, I forgot his mother's name. His mother his mother just throws him. His mother just literally is his head, his brain, until she dies in the film, and that gives him motivation to go after the Guardians, but then eventually he just randomly stops fighting the Guardians for some reason, and then he just becomes a good guy. His mother guides him throughout the movie, and the main villain, they were first working for him. And then after a couple encounters with they was trying to find them, then they eventually stopped working for him and then trying to go on their own because they didn't want Adam Warlock and his mom didn't want the main villain to destroy. Hold on, I'm gonna stop calling him that. I had saw the movie yesterday and I had just went to sleep on it and I didn't. The High Evolutionary, that's his name. The High Evolutionary, the dude, he was working for the High Evolutionary, and then the High Evolutionary says, if you don't find me, he doesn't call Rocket by his name, or I don't think he ever calls him or considers him Rocket Raccoon. He calls him by his number that he's giving him since he was like a little kid, and then pretty much he says, I'm gonna destroy your planet. Now over time, he kind of forgets that plot. Like that whole plot line just disappears. Like it doesn't ever come back up again, and Adam Warlock is now just doing whatever. He kind of has no purpose of doing anything for the High Evolutionary, because the High Evolutionary never goes and talks to Adam Warlock again, or never, like, at first you think they're really working together, but they're really not. Adam Warlock just vanishes from a High Evolutionary's radar, and he just doesn't really bring up anything about destroying his planet anymore. So I guess in a way they was moving from it, but not really. No, not really. I thought Adam Warlock when he first, because at the beginning of the film he comes immediately. He just he comes immediately. So when he comes, whoa, pause. When he comes down, he pretty much off rip is after Rocket. He fights the Guardians. Boom. Boom. He just starts beating up the Guardians, throwing Drax around. Nebula's getting tossed around. Her body's freaking moving and breaking up. So Rocket is pretty much incapacitated the whole time. Like he's been in a coma. And while he's in a coma, we see his past through his flash. We see through flashbacks. We see how he got to where he is and why he is the way he is. And let me tell you that I like animals. Okay, I like animals. I really like animals. And bro, the fact that I'm sitting here watching this film and I'm about to cry about an animal, about a raccoon who does not consider himself to be a raccoon at all. Like a raccoon that does not consider himself to be a raccoon and is also not real at all, is very crazy. Like that shows how much like the film, like how good the film is, because like I cared about like something that's not even real, like something that's not at all real. Like Rocket's whole journey is sad. Like it is very sad. Like you're gonna feel every. When I said in the non-spoiler part, like you're gonna feel every emotion from Rocket being a little baby, a little cute raccoon, because he's in like this cage full of other mini raccoons, and then like by the end he saves all of those trapped animals that are in this big cage. He saves all of them. He saves each and every one of them, and he lets them go free, and they all live on the same planet, where on the Guardian of the Galaxy's main home base. Nowhere. They live on that. They all go and live on that nowhere base, and you just see all. I don't remember his friend's name. He has friends, and he has this connection with with a female animal who had her arms cut off, and she just has robotic arms. You have another one. I think one is like a walrus. I believe one is a walrus. Was it a walrus? Yeah, I think it was a walrus. Yeah, and then you have a bunny who also has been experimented on and trying to be some type of new, like they're all, the high evolutionary tries to create these new like creatures, these new forms of people. He had this counter Earth that was pretty much the opposite of Earth. So pretty much instead of humans, you got animals or like aliens as us, basically. And they're walking around, they're walking around, and then the high evolutionary basically creates these new beings for that, at first for this Earth. At first he does it for this Earth. Then, as we learn throughout, pretty much this is basically Rocket's origin story. Throughout Rocket's origin story, that Rocket is one of a kind. He's very one of a kind. He learns quick. He's good on his feet, good with his hands. He can build stuff, like the perfect one. Excuse me. And over time, the high evolutionary just doesn't want him anymore. He doesn't want him anymore. He just wants to use his brain and his functions to make his other creatures that he's made physically better. But with Rocket, he can make them mentally better. So he needed Rocket, but then eventually Rocket escapes. Rocket escapes because he kills all of his friends. And honestly, when Rocket was crying, I felt like everything. Like I had literally felt everything, because this boy, because Rocket is in a coma, and the rest of the Guardians are trying to find their way and get their buddy back, while Rocket's over there having flashbacks. And well, we're seeing the flashbacks, but and Rocket is just, it's just like you just feel everything for him. You feel so much for him. So much for him. And it's just, I was just so sad. Like I felt really bad for Rocket, because that was like, this is why he acts like this. This is why he's so stubborn. This is why it's hard for him to open up and really be truly, like, he loves the Guardians, of course, but like he'd be like more friendly. That's because of what he's lost and what he's been through and the torture that has come upon him. Yeah, like I totally felt everything for him, especially when at one point there was two moments where I thought someone was gonna die. It was two moments where I thought someone was gonna die, and one of the times I thought they should have died, and maybe They should just been dead. There's a moment where we think Rocket is actually dead. I almost cried. Like, no bullshit. I almost cried. Rocket flatlines, and in his flashback, he's talking with his friends, and the girl, I forgot her name, the girl animal, goes up to him, and she was like, "It's not his time. So it's not his time. He's still needed. He's still needed in the real world. The real world." And I like, bro, that was so emotional. As freaking Star Lord is over there, Gamora, the new Gamora is like, "He's dead. He's dead. He's dead." And Star Lord is like, "No, he's not. He's not dead. I'm gonna get my buddy back." And he's pushing and pushing and pushing, and that's happening in the real world while in Rocket's mind, he's ready to go. He's ready to be with his friends. He's ready to move on. But they won't let him move on because he knows he's still needed. He still has a fight to do. And it was just so, I just felt every, like, you're going to feel every emotion in that scene. Like, that scene just felt powerful of, like what was going on. Because Rocket could finally be free and see the sky and be, because their whole goal was to be free, explore, and see the beautiful sky. They never got to do that. Rocket somewhat did, but they never got to do that. And now he can finally do that, but he can't leave. And it's just, he can't leave the world. And then eventually, Star Lord brings him back. He brings him back, and he's home. And then they go and fight the High Evolutionary. And then from that point on, they pretty much they just go and save their friends because Nebula and Drax and Mantis, eventually they had gotten trapped because they was trying to save Star Lord, but they didn't end up saving Star Lord. So then they had to go back on the ship, and then eventually the whole plan changed, and now they're about to save all of the creatures, every other human being on that ship, because Rocket would not allow this to happen to anyone again or any other creature on there. So they all go back to nowhere, Guardians home base. Um, the other person, there's a moment where Star Lord is running, and he gets in space, and I was like, he should have died. I personally wanted Star Lord to die. I think that would have been, I don't know. I just wanted, not that someone had to die, but I would have personally liked it if Star Lord died. I think that would have completed, and that would have kind of like, I don't know, kind of maybe complete a little bit of his arc, and then like Gamora would have felt something finally, because the whole movie she's been trying to say, "Oh, I'm not that Gamora. I don't like you. I don't love you." And I like that. I really like that. I really like that they don't put them back together. I like that. That's perfect. That's perfect. Now they're just back to being how they were, the regular Guardians. They're not in love. I like that. That was fine. Even though there was moments where I was like, "Damn, I want them back together. I love them together." But it's like, what can you do? Um, Star-Lord's constantly trying. They even make a joke about him liking Nebula's eyes, which was hilarious, and that he should try the other sister. But yeah, that dynamic throughout the whole movie, them constantly making these little hints and moments that they could possibly get back together in the future, maybe. I like that. That was cool. Um, what else? Adam Warlock. I mean, yeah, really, I just had, it was really just little nitpicks, like the High Evolutionary. I thought the dude, he also played in Peacemaker as one of the aliens. I think the dude that played High Evolutionary, I think he did a great job. I don't know too much on him. You see, I don't know names. I don't know his real name, but I think he did an amazing job. I don't really have anything else with that, with the High Evolutionary, outside of he was just a great villain. Great villain, great way to show how he's tortured Rocket, and then we see that Rocket dismembers his face, and then his actual face is really like a mask, and then he's like like he got like a skeleton, he's bleed, like it's just all disgusting and nasty under. Great makeup, by the way. Really great makeup. I looked that up. That none of his like stuff is like CGI. That was like basically real. Adam Warlock, I really think is the worst part. I mean, I still have those problems. Like, I don't like that Drax is an idiot. I never liked that Drax is a freaking doofus. I think that was a really dumb decision. A really dumb decision. I mean, you can make him a jokester, but him just being completely an idiot and dumb. Excuse me. But don't get me wrong, Drax is hilarious every time I see him. He is hilarious every single time. I think Volume 1, he was. I think I liked him the most in Volume 1 because he was dumb, but he still had a brain. By like volume two, no, actually no, yeah, by volume two, he's a complete idiot. Like he's a doofus. Like I didn't like that, and they kind of do that same thing with Adam Warlock. I actually think Adam Warlock is at moments is worse than Drax, cause he's just a complete idiot, and I didn't like that. When I looked at Adam Warlock, especially in the comics, I think of him like as a serious like person, like a very serious person. I didn't really take this is nothing against the actor, nothing. I thought he played the part that he was given well. I thought he did a great job. Don't get me wrong, I thought he did well, but Al Warlock is also pretty dumb, and his mother is the one that guides him. And once his mother dies, he gets the motivation to try and, but he doesn't. You didn't like you thought Alan Warlock was probably gonna be like some basically like the main threat. He's really not. He's not at all. High Evolutionary is clearly the main villain. Adam Warlock gets disposed multiple times. He doesn't like really. He gets knocked out the way, stabbed, thrown off, but like blown up. Like he gets dismembered and just destroyed multiple times. So and it was kind of suck. Kind of sucks. I thought he was gonna be more villain or important. Then at the very end, he turns and then he helps the Guardians. But it's whatever. Um, there are two end credit scenes. There are two end credit scenes. I will get to that in a second. I'm just gonna overall say that the Guardians with the Guardians and Adam Warlock, everyone played their part well. Everything was good. I love all the emotion each character has with each other. The dynamic never fails. It's perfect. I loved all of that. From Star Lord to Gamora, from Rocket to Groot. Groot Vin Diesel's voice actually comes out here when he says "I love you guys." Like it just sounded weird because I just hear Vin Diesel at the very end. So yeah, and the Guardians of the Galaxy, they made it seem like someone was going to die. People say, "Oh, someone's going to die." They split up. They end up splitting up. So Star Lord ends up going back home and seeing his grandfather. Ends up seeing his going back home. Gamora goes back to the Ravengers. Um, Trying to remember. Mantis goes off on her own and finds her new path, her own way, a life outside the Guardians. Nebula and Drax stay on Nowhere and take care of the people and help with the kids because Drax knows how to speak the kids' language that was on the ship with the High Evolutionary ship. Um, Rocket, all the other Guardians nominate Rocket as the new leader. So he leads the new wave of Guardians, and that first end credit scene, which is I kind of felt it weird the way they did the credits and then show the credits. Um, It's Adam Warlock. It's one of the kid. You'll know which when you see him. When you see the movie, or if you're in the spoilers, you already seen it. You know who I'm talking about. The girl. It's one little girl that Drax was helping out. She's a guardian. Then the dude that whistles, I forgot his name. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting names. That throws the little arrow around. He's on the Guardians, and then you have Rock. Of course, once again, Rocket's leading it, and then you got Groot. Oh, and then Adam Warlock is now a Guardian. So it's actually a cool dynamic of characters. You got actually a lot of, yeah, it's a cool dynamic of characters, and I actually like it. I actually really like it. So yeah, that they're the new Guardians, and then you see them about to fight a threat, and Rocket jumps to the screen and then makes a face, and then it shuts off and goes back to credits. Now the last one is really just Star Lord, because a lot of people are actually disappointed. They thought something bigger was gonna happen, but it doesn't. The last credit scene is Star Lord just sitting at the house when he goes back and sees his grandfather. He sits down and just they're talking and about mowing the lawn, and then it just the screen slowly slides up and it ends with Star Lord will return, and then that's the end of the movie, end of the credits. Everyone gets up and leave. So pretty much what it seems like, especially since Star Lord is back on Earth, we're gonna get more Star Lord. I don't think we're gonna see the other Guardians anytime soon. If anything, Star Lord is going to make appearance with other characters. He's probably going to even meet the Avengers again, and then I guess the other Guardians. Maybe once we get to, excuse me, the Infinity Saga, not Infinity Saga. When we get to the Kang Dynasty when we get to King Dynasty and all that, we'll probably see the other Guardians come back and help and whatnot. It'll probably be a big moment in the theater when they all come back and rejoice and hug and But for right now, we're probably just gonna get Star Lord, which in a way it makes sense. I would say Star Lord is probably one of the most favorites, and that character does have a lot to. You could do a lot with that character. So not that you can't with the others, but you have a lot you could do with that character. So yeah, it's whatever. I did want Star Lord to die, but over time I accepted it. Like, he's not going to die. You don't really need to kill anyone off. Just keep everyone where they are and just have them split up and then come back later. You know. So yeah, this was overall it was a good movie. I still give it an 8 out. It's an 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, really enjoyed the movie. All I'm gonna say this is, I know this is off topic. This is a Guardians video, Marvel video. I have a lot of faith in James Gunn's DC now. That's like, based off of this movie, after all the emotions I felt. If James Gunn can do this with a bunch of misfits, a bunch of random characters, I am very hyped to see what he will do with a character like Superman. What he would do, or better alone the DC universe. I'm very hyped for that now because of how this movie came out. I was already hyped because I had complete faith in James Gunn. Like, he has not made any like thing bad from what I've seen. Like, I like pretty much everything he has made so far. So this gives me a lot of hope for DC and especially Superman Legacy. So I just wanted to get that out the way. Like, I have a lot of hope for that now. Guardians. Hopefully we see them all together again in another movie. I think the movie is pretty perfect, pretty good. I only had a little bit of nitpicks with it. It's still some more, but they don't really matter. The positive outweigh the negative. It's a great film. If you love animals, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy seeing raccoons, and you're going to enjoy all of that. You're going to enjoy the redemption arcs in the film. You're going to enjoy all of that, the laughs, everything. That's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed my review of Guardians of the Galaxy. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.